Welcome to Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Look, it's almost Christmas time. Our fearless leader is off seeing the Men of Steel in Vegas. So the co-hosts are taking over and running amok. We hope you're ready. First, I want to start off with the ever beautiful KD. How are you doing?
I am doing absolutely marvelous. I
Oh,
am
that
loving the
voice.
fact.
That
Oh, yes.
voice.
It's the holidays. We got to have the holiday voice on. We got to have our smooth listening going as we get ready by the open fire for Santa Claus. Yes. So,
Look, you're gonna need to do that. Let me go get some wine and like run my tub water.
Light some candles in this
I
piece for
know, right?
that. God
I'm
dog.
flustered.
About to say, everybody's rolling around with like the hot, sexy telephone quiet storm after 11 p.m.
That's
voices.
exactly what it is. Quiet storm.
Right. And you got me just rolling in here wrecking all of that. God dog. I'm gonna just stay quiet for the rest of the show. I can't handle it.
we have had what? We've had like warm weather and like a week or two ago, and then we've had snow and ice. It's been all sorts of craziness. Like, I don't know what to expect from one day to the next. Like, I have my heat on one day, then I have the air conditioning on the day after. But I'm in a holiday spirit. I've been making some apple cider with a little taste of rum in it, heating it up, sitting outside in a fire pit, just sipping it in my Fenty onesie. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
hey.
I don't know, for all of the listeners who cannot see us, make sure you visit us on our YouTube, Brown Sugar Confessions. If you look, we are all wearing matching onesies today. And guess what? This wasn't even 100% planned. We just said, get your onesies. And we all ended up getting the same onesies. How about that? So thank you, Rihanna, for making us hot. We love you. We love you. Make sure you hit us up so we can do that thing. But yeah, so I'm just prepared for the holidays. I got like my little Santa Claus, my elf, because I am the elf, I am the helper.
I
That's my
love it.
role in this Christmas. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. How about you, Miss T?
Oh man, so we finally got out of the flood that came through here a couple of days ago, and one day of finally gorgeous weather, and the temperature drops, and now I'm sad.
Ooh,
I'm so
so
sad.
we need to understand what temperature drop means
So
in Atlantean.
we went from what, maybe not mid 70s, low 70s with unparalleled rain to cold about 50s unparalleled rain to clear at 46.
Mm,
And tonight is supposed to drop to
that's
like the 30s, I want to say.
hmm.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
I ain't with it.
that's relatively cold.
Yeah, I
Right
ain't with it,
about
but I'm
now.
glad I don't have any snow. I'm glad I don't
Fair
have any
enough.
snow.
Same. It was icing for us. We've had ice. We've had like a little bit of snow, like not the real snow, just like the icy mix, the wintry mix, as they
Oh, that
say.
slush, I
We
can't
haven't
do
had a
that.
lot of any real snow.
I
Yeah, I don't
can't do
like it.
that at all.
We got
But you know what
7.
I did get to do?
What?
Holiday Christmas light drive-through. It was amazing.
Awesome.
It was amazing. You guys, if you guys ever come to Atlanta in December, we gotta do it.
Yes, I want to. I love driving around to look at holiday lights. Like that's my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
How you been, Treese?
Well, we're getting 7 inches of snow plus some ice on top of that.
That's ugly. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
What was funny is I woke up and I was like, there's no snow. I wonder when they're gonna call out school. And I dropped my kid off at school. And right when I'm in the middle of a meeting, the school calls and like, oh yeah, early dismissal, come get your kid right now.
Well, dang.
Yeah. So I had to like jump out of work and go get her. And I mean, as soon as we were coming home, you could hear the ice hitting the car. And I had to go out because I'm a trooper and I've been in New York long enough that I could drive in the ice and snow. I had to go get my nails done. Uh,
Ooh. Wait. So I need to see that again. I'm sorry for the radio listeners. Ooh, they are so you
Ooh,
need to so I'm gonna have to describe these nails. So they are
yeah.
super sparkly. They're not quite casket because they're not pointy, but they have this really nice curve to it. And they're just so super sparkly. They're
I
gorgeous. I love
know.
They're like
them.
casket square.
Yes, they're
These are,
perfect for the holidays.
I think she calls them ballerina. They're ballerina
Ballerina.
points because it looks
They
like
look
a
like point.
ballerina
Yeah,
shoe.
Okay, I
they
can see that.
do.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this shape. So yeah, I drove in the ice to get my nails done. I do not suggest everybody do this. I have an awesome car that has 4-wheel all-terrain drive. There was
Nice.
lots of bumper cars going off on the roads. Meanwhile, I'm
Oh
like,
no.
beep, beep, gotta go home. So that's it. But let's get started into the hot topics because this evening, it's going to be nothing but the good gossip.
Yeah.
So who's starting?
Well, I'm going to start because I got a kind of a side story, and I'm going to start this side story with a mildly controversial statement. But before we get to that, I want to thank everybody who listens to the radio show, wherever you are, whether that is in the South, in New York, in Pittsburgh, in Delaware, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, wherever you are calling us from. Thank you for listening to us. We
Yes.
gladly appreciate it, whether you're listening to us on Power 1017 every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. or if you're listening to us on YouTube. We thank you. We love you. We love the comments. We love the emails. We love the stories if you ever get to talk to one of us. And I got a story for y'all. So I was actually talking to a friend. I had a friend over because I was doing some sound healing on them, and she listens to the show. So she was telling me about this situation she was in. So I want to try to stick to the story the best way I can with no names being put in it. So she's in a long-term relationship. She is bi, but she is in a long-term relationship with a woman. So they have been going through some stuff. They're not kind of seeing each other eye to eye on the sexual, physical aspect. And it's been a situation for years, like for most of their relationship, which has been very long-term, like over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So at this point, she was like, you know what? I'm just going to do what I do and keep it moving. You know, she's still with her partner, but at some point she had decided to hook up with a guy. So if you remember, last week, it was later last week or the week before, I threw this poll out in the Brown Sugar Confessions of if you either keep stats on your lovers or if you have nicknames for your lovers. So some of the nicknames she's had for her previous lovers were the Golden Snitch. Golden Snitch. The other one was, oh God, do I still have it written down?
Tell us what it is.
Yes, I need you to pause there. You got to tell us what that was
Yeah,
about.
the
'cause
Golden Snitch.
Yeah,
that
you
was
can't just slide. You
that
can't
was
just
one of her
slide through.
that was one of her partners, eggplant. There was the
Ooh.
Death God. Yeah, the Death God, aka Anubis. But we're going to talk about the person who is the Golden Snitch. Okay. So code name Golden Snitch. She meets said gentleman and they get to doing what they're doing, and absolutely wonderful. He's one of those that puts it down very quickly, very efficiently, and have your head spinning. So here's the thing. Here's the problem with the Golden Snitch, and he kind of fits into multiple stereotypes. So you all know, or you two may have known, or may have had this experience with a gentleman, probably pretty skinny, has a big eggplant, doesn't do anything but watch anime and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Has multiple girlfriends.
No.
And is probably supported by all of them.
No, he had mine.
No, not my struggle.
Okay, that might be a South thing because I've seen that plenty of times. And he's one of those guys that has like the multiple stereotypes of the dude who really doesn't do anything. Oh, also basement producer. There we go. That was the other one. Basement producer.
I heard those are the ones that have the best, what's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to watch out for them at cons. You have to watch out for them.
Yes. But here's where my mildly controversial statement comes in. I sort of believe that sex work and marijuana should be legalized, because if they were, this man would be a millionaire. Think about it. Think about it. If he's got like the best, eggplant out there, he's giving it to the people. And if he were being paid for this legally, think about it.
No.
Well, see, here's a problem with that. Like,
Mhm.
even good eggplant, the market's flooded. And because it's such
Is
a
it though?
flooded market, it
For
is,
good
it truly
eggplant?
is. Even for good eggplant,
I can see for mediocre eggplant, but good eggplant?
good
Yeah.
eggplant is a dime a dozen, and
It
it's
really
it's
is.
practically free. So if you try to sell it, most people are going to be like, "Nah, I'll pass. I'll pass."
And what's good for one person may not be good for another person.
This is also true.
That
So it's
part.
got to have a little more to it, which is why I think if you legalize it, there'd be some dudes that would be making some good money.
Yeah, I could see, I could see that they would make good money, but at the same time, their work ethic would not support what they needed to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
How so?
Mm.
Now, I'm going to say this, and I love myself a good edible. I love myself a good everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that stuff, while it does work for, arousal and all that good stuff, I'm still sleepy. I'm still not productive. I'm chilling. I'm eating a fudge sickle. Like
Fudge sickle though?
Yes.
Just one fudge sickle?
One fudge sickle, one bowl of Captain Crunch, and 3 cookies.
God dog, that's a lot
That
of
sounds
sugar.
yum. Mm.
So here's the thing. Like, I think it could be good, but at the same time, you have to have the work ethic to back up that kind of work. Sex work is not easy.
Ah, there you go.
Sex work is hard. It is strenuous. It is finding clients. It is keeping clients. It is making sure your clients are doing what they need to be doing and wearing said protective devices. There is stress. There is violence that could come along with this. There are so many aspects of that I don't think he could do it, because if you have 6 other women supporting you and you're a basement producer and you're not really doing anything, you're not going to keep up with sex work. You're not going to keep up with it. It's not, sex work is hard.
Yeah.
Says
But
former stripper,
I feel like
Brie.
if he's actually doing the sex work though, he might give up the basement producing. That might just be like a fading hobby at this point if you got to put into work.
Maybe, but not really, because it's clout.
Ah, true. True that.
It's clout.
Oh, also, other thought before I forget. Did you guys know we're at the playoffs for cuffing season?
Clink, clink.
Dun, dun.
Indeed.
So everybody who has made it to the holiday season, congratulations. You got one more hurdle before you hit the ring, which is February 14th, Valentine's Day. But for those of y'all who might think about knocking boots over the holidays, what zodiac sign do you think your kid will be?
Questions that seriously need answers.
Says the
I bet you
Virgo.
Miss Treese knows.
Uh-huh.
Says the Virgo.
That's right. If you're hitting it at Christmas, guess what? You might be having a Libra or a Virgo. So just make sure you're prepared for that.
We're amazing. We'll get your life right. Don't worry about it.
Your life is getting right or you're going to die trying.
Could you imagine? So you have, especially if you're someone like me, you're a Taurus, and you don't really put a whole lot of effort into organization and things like that. And then you have this Virgo child that's judging you for everything that you do at all times.
Oh,
or you have a Libra and they're just out there for everyone that they know, because Libras will always be chatty and they're going to be friends with everyone and they're going to be socializing with every person in the world. So if that's not your personality, you may want to rethink getting a little too comfy in your extracurricular activities during the holidays. Just keep that in mind.
Also, and be mindful, if you have a child around February 14th, Valentine's Day, it is a high chance it's going to be a Scorpio. So think that over too.
No one wants that. Literally no one.
Yeah.
So yeah, please don't. Please don't. Not February. There's no.
Come on, y'all, do better. We say play safe, be safe. Like, do that.
Mm-hmm. Stay safe, y'all. Play safe, y'all. Like I say, don't
Oh,
bring a zodiac sign in the world you ain't prepared to raise.
Ooh, yeah. Speaking of
I don't think anyone's prepared.
look,
Not for
speaking
them.
of a mom of a Pisces and a Gemini, as a Virgo, as a
Ooh,
Virgo,
your house is just chaotic.
pure. I hate it.
Chaos.
I hate it. They are so messy. I hate it.
Just a chaos agent over there.
I hate, especially the Gemini. She does it on purpose. I know she does.
Oh
That's
no.
what they do. That's what they do. First off, I mean, if I remember correctly, if you look at the list of like serial killers, weren't they all like Scorpios and Geminis or something like that?
I think I saw a couple of
Like
Virgos in
all of
there.
them.
But
Yes,
there was
but
good
see, you know-
cause. There was good cause for us. You drove us to it.
You made us do it.
But you know that was a clean crime scene. Like, you know,
Mhm.
they were the ones that like used plastic and bleach and cleaned it up. The only reason they were able to find it is because it was probably the 1980s and they didn't think DNA evidence was going to be a thing, and that came back to bite them 20 years later.
That's assuming
Otherwise,
if they found
no
the
one would have
body.
ever found out. That's assuming. I guarantee you they didn't find a body. I promise you they didn't. But they may have been able to find enough evidence to be able to be like, you know what, they did it. Otherwise, no
Mhm.
way.
Look, we do what we do. We're very
Mm,
thorough.
So listen, guys.
Hmm?
Listen, I got something for you.
What happened?
So, scientists have finally found the lotus
On
for
what?
snakes.
Oh, for snakes?
For snakes.
At least they
For
found it on
snakes.
something. Thank you.
There's hope for
Thousands
humanity.
Thank you.
of year into studying these creatures, they have finally found the lotus.
I feel like we need like canned applause.
Yeah, we may
Round
have
of
to go back and add
applause.
that. Yes. So, not surprising, all of these years, all of these people who have studied these creatures, do you want to, if I had to take a vote on who actually found the lotus, who do you think it's going to be?
Woman.
Woman
The tech.
or male?
The tech.
Woman.
And the
Of
tech was
course,
probably
of course.
female.
Which, you know, that's probably the only reason there is a such thing as a female O right now, is because we have figured it out for ourselves, because leave it up to them. It ain't going to happen. So yes, just recently there's been a research paper that was published that says they have found the female snake genitalia. And the interesting part is that the researcher who found it, she said that it has to be there. And they said that even considering that there was genitalia available or on a female snake, it was considered taboo for a while. So Megan Falwell is the person who found this. She was a doctoral candidate and the lead researcher on this project. And, you know, they not only have one, but they have two. Count them, two. All these years.
Well, double the
And they
fun. How
couldn't
about that?
It ain't easy being a snake. I'm just
Right?
saying. And so it's a double-walled organ, and it has nerves and collagen and red blood cells. So it sounds like, you know, they probably have a pretty decent O based upon these descriptions. And you know what? Like I said, it's just really not surprising to me that it took women to really stop and say, you know what? We need to find this. I'm sure it's there before they actually found it.
Oh, you know what? It
And it
probably
just
came
says-
out from like a whole argument in the lab
I
talking
bet.
about what is and isn't on like female animals. And they're like, no, there is a lotus. I'm going to find it. Screw you. Next thing you know, boom, we already got like a whole document out of it. Peer reviewed and everything.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
my-
yes, it
there is
took
hope. There is
There is hope.
many years, but there's hope.
There's
Eventually,
hope. They can
they
find it on
all-
the snake. They can find it on us, guys.
Yeah.
They can find it on us.
But you know what? Now that kind of makes me have extra questions. Okay, like, so all right, we know that the snake has the lotus. It's got the nerve endings. But what does a snake look like? Like, do
I
their
think you
eyes
know.
dilate? Are they like rolling over like
I've never thought of that. Like, we getting deep.
like does it differ between like your constrictors and your non-constrictors? Like if it's like
Yeah.
a snake that like might be a pit viper, what happens if they accidentally bite themselves or bite their partner?
This
That
is
is a
deep.
good
I ain't never
question.
thought of that.
Yes.
See, this is what happens when you have a science brain. Next subject.
So no, wait. Because I know that these are not necessarily your area of expertise, but maybe you know, because so what does the male snake have?
I mean, they got an eggplant. Like they, those are there. But they're internal. It has to come out and they gotta like fit kind of like in. So like when snakes are usually like tangled up looking like a bunch of noodles, it's
Yeah.
they copulating.
Ah, okay.
Damn.
So now here's the thing. How on earth did scientists for all of these years know for a fact that the male snake had a eggplant, but just assumed that the female did not? Like, I mean, isn't that basic science,
Well, I think also
And
because it's easier to identify. I mean, you cut a snake open and you look and you be like, oh, that's an
there
eggplant.
it is.
There it
Yeah.
is. And once you see it, you
Yeah.
can't unsee it.
That kind of makes me sad
just-
because it's like how that's how little they think of the female form in any species.
This is also true.
That's
It gets
right
a
there.
little weirder when it gets to invertebrate species because everything does not look the way we think it's supposed to look like,
I'm actually kind of digging the stuff that is starting to reproduce without men. So that's where I'm at. in this.
Listen.
That's becoming more often than we think too. They have said that snakes have been, I forget which ones, but there have been documented snakes that go through parthenogenesis.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're making mini clones of each other.
Wasn't there some kind of bird that this just happened to?
I think so. There was an article that just
I
came
want
out
to
not
say
too far ago.
vulture or something like that.
I
I
can't
can't remember which one, but there was a bird that reproduced without a male partner.
Bird. Now that's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yes.
So I'm just like, I'm down with that. Y'all ain't paying attention to us in any species. So I don't know what we're doing.
I'll say it's gonna be it's gonna be like a whole genetic roulette when that gets to people though. When you think about like how would that look if a person goes through parthenogenesis? Do they like make an exact copy of themselves? Is it like a recombination of the genes of like all the maternal genes in them? Like how does that work?
I have no idea. Dang, we
I
need
need
a
to meditate
scientist.
on that and figure it out.
man.
Yes.
We need a geneticist.
Yeah. Let's keep that on the list, people.
All right. Hey, if you're a geneticist and you are listening to here at Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 117, hit us up. Write to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And you said potential geneticist, if you might have some relationship issues and you don't want to talk about it with the fabulous trio here, you can always talk to Doc Val at Valerie@swancenter.com. That is Valerie at SWA2Ncenter.com. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the TikTok, Doc Val's TikTok. And wait, are we on Twitter anymore?
No, we're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify. Check us out on Spotify. Is Twitter even still a thing, or did Twitter implode finally?
Twitter is like the I don't know, it's like a battleground right now.
Is it battleground? Last thing I heard about Twitter is somebody's booty hole was on Twitter.
What?
Somebody's booty hole was exposed on Twitter, and I said, when I saw the article the first time, I said, I'm a back burner that, and then I totally forgot about it. So I don't know whose booty hole it was, but all I know is somebody's booty hole from their OnlyFans was swiped off of OnlyFans and put out into the Twitterverse. Listeners, if you figure out whose booty hole it was, please also write to us so we know whose booty hole it was, so we can talk about it later.
And with that, we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Sugar Confessions here on Power 101.7. It is the fantastic. Do I even want to say terrible trio? I don't want to say terrible trio. I want to say terrific
No.
trio. It is I, Miss T, KD, and Tracy. And I feel like, me and Tracy might have offended KD in some way, just a little bit. So we gotta give you kind of like an explanation of what happened during the break. So KD found out.
What our listeners do not know. So, being that I am a Philadelphian, true and true, I was born in West Philadelphia, born and raised, playground, spent most of my days. I think we had this discussion like really on, but just in case you guys forgot or you just started tuning in recently, I'm a Philadelphian. I currently live in Wilmington, but that's only about 30 minutes away from the city of Philadelphia. It takes me about 30 minutes to drive to South Philadelphia to go to the sports arena.
This is facts.
And right now, just so you know, we are 12-1.
What's
So,
she trying to say?
I was just having a very pleasant discussion where I was telling these wonderful young ladies that we will be having we will be having a Super Bowl party, but not just yet. I'm going to hold my horses. We are going to have a small gathering on December 24th, where the Eagles will be playing the Dallas Cowgirls, and we will
Ooh.
whip them up and down the field. And I wanted to invite them to enjoy watching the Cowgirls getting their behinds whipped left and right. Do you know what these women said to me? Listen, brace yourselves. Brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves.
Because I'm not okay. But I just found out we have not only one, but two Dallas Cowgirl fans.
Hey, listen, we are
Sitting
Texans
here with
through and
us.
through. You spend at least 2
What?
years in Texas. You are pretty much a Texan by default. We have both been born and raised in Texas. So it don't matter how good or bad the Cowboys are doing. You will
still have to
always
rep.
You still gotta
have
rep
to
them. You still gotta rep them.
Still gotta rep.
Still gotta rep
12-1.
them.
Still gotta rep. I got
12-1.
a jersey upstairs. I got
a
jersey
keychain around
upstairs.
here somewhere.
Look, we got a
Listen.
jersey upstairs. On my old car, I had the Dallas Star on the back of my car.
Mhm.
And anytime, even though I live in upstate New York, anytime I would be driving, you would see the other Dallas Cowboy fans and we would honk at each other.
Mhm. We in there.
I
We
make-
down here in
I
the
makes
South
no
too.
Disappointment.
I makes no apologies.
Disappointment. Sad.
I love my Cowboys. We're not doing
Miss
great.
KD was so upset upon hearing this little bit of news. Y'all, she done put on a hat. She done changed her background. I need you to understand. She done changed her background to put 12-1. I feel like we just assaulted and disrespected all her senses in this one little fact about the two of us. See, you better be glad mama ain't home right now. You acting out of hand. She
I'm
left you in
confident
charge and
she's
you
with me
acted
on
out of
this.
hand.
I am confident she is with me on this. I know for a fact. She may not be an Eagles fan because I don't take her as much of a football fan in general, but I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, she is not a Dallas Cowgirl fan. No way. She has way more integrity than that. Way more integrity than that.
Everybody
goodness.
wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader at one time in their life.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Listen,
The short
y'all may not.
shorts,
Little fun fact that y'all
the
may
high
not know about
kicks.
me, but I actually tried out to be an Eagles cheerleader. Like
What?
legit tried out. I didn't make it, but I
Ah,
legit tried out. Like I went to tryouts, went to the rounds and everything, but I didn't make it. But I definitely, that's my heart. Green bleeds green, like for sure. I would never even dream. Think
I
about,
would never.
contemplate.
she is wearing a green
I wouldn't
onesie
even-
too,
I
by the
wouldn't
way,
even
y'all.
look in their direction. I'm true blue, or more importantly, true green. From birth till the end. It's what I do. It's what
So
we
there,
are because
so
I
there you have it, Radio Land. She ain't wearing purple, she's wearing green. So just so
know
you
it.
know, don't talk to anything about football to Miss KD unless it is about the Eagles or else.
Winners.
Or else. But you know what else it's time for? It's time for the Hot Topic Roundup. We got some things to talk about. We got
Look,
to get them in before Mom gets home.
let's talk about another Texas girl. We're talking about Megan Thee Stallion.
The Stallion.
My favorite. I love her. I'm sure you love her, and you've heard her songs at least 57 times in the last week.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
But on a serious note, we're going to talk about the case that is going on and how this actively represents part of, if you're a woman, living your life, and just how objectified your life can be just by going through your daily motions. So in this trial, she was okay, so I have to put the allegedly quotes right because we're still in court for this and we're still trying to prove it, right? Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson.
Daystar.
Yeah,
Daystar.
Daystar.
Like as in like Vampire Walker Daystar?
Like Daystar.
When your real name sounds more like a rap name than your rap name.
Exactly.
Facts.
Okay, so we know that who's one of the Kardashians kicked Megan out of the house because of all this stuff that was going on with Tory Lanez, right?
Oh, they were at a Kardashian party. That's like the first party flag.
Yeah. So they were in the car and they got into an altercation. Supposedly it was about music or something along those lines, like who is better. He got mad, cussed at her, and shot 5 rounds at her. And a few rounds went into her foot. They are in court. And there is a witness named Kelsey. And she pled the fifth on everything, right? Because she's afraid of perjuring herself, right? So her and her lawyer were like, oh, we'll testify as long as you can't prosecute us for perjury or blah, blah, blah. And I failed to incriminate myself. What it is giving me, a person, ultra Virgo. It is giving me that you don't want to incriminate yourself because you know what happened and you're really not trying to say anything.
Right.
Two, he tried to bribe her. Whether she got the money or not only her, but several other people too.
Oh. Yeah,
it's all in the deposition from September. Now she is pleading the fifth. What she does not realize is her pleading the fifth and talking. She actually talked through some of the thing instead of just saying the fifth.
I mean, like, you're not supposed to talk if you plead the fifth, right?
Exactly. So she talked. So guess what? Now they're going to bring up the old tapes. Now they're going to bring up the tapes. Oof. But here's how this really actively plays into our daily lives as being women, just going about our lives, living, loving, laughing, and playing, right? So while we're in this trial, #we stand with Megan.
Yes.
How during her trial, they are actively bringing up her intimate life, her sex life. For me, I don't understand how this plays into her being shot, how her being injured. And for anybody that would like to say that was glass in her foot from a broken window or whatever it was, please go look up her surgeon. It is all online. The surgeon actively tells you that it was metal shrapnel from a bullet. So let's stop being obtuse on that fact. But the other thing is that they are steadily questioning a woman about her sex life when it has nothing to do with how she got shot.
Quick question. Where is the trial being held? Like what state?
Give me 1 second and I will tell you. It is in the Los Angeles Hall of Justice.
Okay, so California.
Yes.
The reason
we're dealing with a Kardashian is probably in LA, Calabasas.
Yeah, you're right. The reason I asked, because I was like, if this is being held in Texas, then I can kind of see why they're trying to throw her sex life into it, because they want to defame her character.
I just think that's disgusting.
It is, because
It
they're like, if
is.
we can say that she's just this loose and wild woman and she allows anything to happen to her, then of course this was going to happen. She was asking for it.
So if
Mm.
we're going to bring up her, let's bring up his, because he is he is grimy. So let's do it.
Mhm.
If you bring up one, bring it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring all the dogs to the yard. Let's talk about how he has supposedly been violent to other people, punched people in the face. If we're going to talk about her past, let's talk about his past.
Put everything out there.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'm going to
Isn't
say
there
that,
an ongoing case with another person that he, like a fan or something like that, that
yes,
he hit?
What?
I think he
recently?
either body slammed her or punched her in the face or something like that. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yes. So that goes to show his character, right?
Mhm.
And I'm saying this because if you're a woman, you may know someone that has been in a situation that has been violently attacked or sexually attacked, and they've had to go to court. And even if you're going to court for, in our case, they bring up people that you slept with in the days before or days after this thing happened to you. I think that is so weird.
Agreed.
It just goes to show you how that they will pull a woman's, just her living into, like,
Essentially, they're putting her chastity on trial.
exactly.
They're putting her
Exactly.
quote unquote chastity on trial. If she is not pure, she
Yeah.
deserved everything that came to her.
Exactly. And I just find that very hypocritical, and they're not doing it to her male counterpart that is in this. And I think he's facing up to like 22 years in jail. Personally, I hope he gets 22 years plus some. He deserves it. If you treat someone like that, if you cause them violence, you are not free. And then you run from the country.
Did he
You-
run?
He ran from the
Yeah.
country?
Yeah, he
Really?
left. He went back to Canada. He's
He's
from
from
Canada.
Canada?
He's from Canada. Yeah, don't let these non-accent people fool you. Just like who is it? Savage 21 is from England.
Yeah, that keeps throwing me off because he be in Atlanta all the time. It keeps throwing me off, and I'm like, that's that English dude, ain't it? No,
Look, when he
it's the
said
whole
bruv,
mind thing.
he said bruv.
Bruv.
I was like, what?
Bruv.
Listen.
Bruv will always never sit right with
Yeah,
me,
but
but
he
we
went
gotta
back-
do what we gotta do.
He went back to Canada.
Dang.
To escape the charges, right? I think that shows his character. Bring that up. Bring
That
that
to
up.
me, that's kind of like only guilty people run.
Right? Guilty
What?
people run, but it is also very telling that he tried allegedly to bribe not just this Kelsey person, but other people. And I highly, if you just want to see how to effectively plead the fifth in the case, please watch that and don't follow what she does.
1,
Well,
2, 3,
here's the
4,
thing.
5.
Like
Look.
it's been a very, very long time since I've studied law. Like I studied it in high school because I was on the mock trial team, and I studied it in college.
What don't you know?
Just a
You
little
know
bit.
everything.
I
Just a little
know.
Just a little bit. I wanted to be a lawyer at one time. I worked for the DA's office for a few years. So I was truly like heavily into criminal law and stuff like that. So from my memory, it's been a few years, so don't quote me, but I swore that the pleading the fifth truly only mattered like if either A, you felt you were going to self-incriminate yourself if you were actually the person who was on trial, or if your testimony could then be used against you to then put you on trial for the case in further trials. Like if they found this person to be not guilty and they're like, oh wait, it was actually that person, and they said something on the stand, that's the only time you really get to plead the fifth. So
Yeah, and that's what
I
it was
don't feel
for.
as if like otherwise, is she saying that she's guilty? Did she participate in helping her get shot? Like that's just really odd to me.
Not participate actively, but she did tell false stories. And if she did accept the alleged bribe from him, Daystar Patterson, that's illegal. You can go to
Yeah.
jail for that.
You can definitely go to jail for that. Very
So
true.
it is playing out in real life. I highly even if you're not interested in who Megan Thee Stallion is, or who Tory Lanez or Daystar and Kelsey, what I'm asking you to do is just pay attention to how women are treated in the court system.
Speaking of how women are treated, do y'all remember Derrick Jackson? AKA
Yes.
Mr. Social Media Romantic. Like,
Yes.
if your man ain't paying attention to you, you need to leave him. And
Yes.
that dude.
Yes.
Mhm.
He's filing from divorce from his wife. His
Ooh.
Stand By Me.
He should have, or she should have.
That
at least.
cannot,
Yeah, but the
that
thing,
cannot
but
be
here's the
good for
thing.
his brand.
Here's the thing. He's the one who initiated the divorce.
I believe he initiated the divorce for very certain reasons.
What are your reasons?
If you know this blogger, she's on YouTube. Her name is Tasha K.
Mhm.
She was
Mhm.
about to go live because she had proof that he was with other women.
Mhm.
And she was about to go live. So to beat her to the story and to kind of, I guess, do his own media campaign, he filed for divorce without telling his
He
wife.
never told his wife?
He never told her. Oh no.
Whoa. I see now that part I did not know.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Okay. So if we're going to talk about this case, we have to go back like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. If you go back 2 or 3 weeks and you look up his soon to be ex-wife, well, we're going to quote that because we all know they might do a miraculous Facebook turnaround. She actually did a video where she was, I want to say it was like she was reading Psalms or something, and she was saying like, any hand formed against me and my husband will be destroyed. Like, she went in and did a whole verbal kind of hex, talking to people like, you're going to learn to keep my husband and my name and our family out of your mouth, or there will be ruin on your household. But what as a practicing energy worker, what she failed to remember is that the man that she was protecting was talking ill about her to the other woman. So he was talking ill about her. She said this whole thing about, if you talk ill about me, my husband, or my family, your life will be in ruin. He did it. It worked.
Dang.
It worked. But he filed for divorce because Tasha K had pictures of them singing karaoke, kissing, having drinks, doing all the things. And even had pictures with him in the background where he was trying to hide his face. It was very obvious that he was just like a camera, like he was really trying to hide his face. And before she broke the story, I mean, literally hours before she broke the story, like she had a timer on, and he filed for divorce. He filed for divorce without telling her, and then wrote that little sappy thing talking about, you know, we're better co-parenting.
I really feel bad for his wife.
I do too, because she used to be a hot girl. She used to be a hot girl like what he's going after now, but she changed to fit his brand. She changed to be the church lady, to like cover up, and not that there's anything wrong with being a church lady, but she changed who she was to fit into his box.
She literally lost her own identity.
And the woman that he is actually with, if you look at their pictures, they are very similar.
Wow.
They look very similar. Like, at first I was like, is this just her maybe like a couple pounds lighter and like at a different angle? Like, but it ain't.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a woman that dressing how she used to dress, high heels, short skirts, doing it. But she changed all of that to fit into his good girl, good wife, at home, baked chicken. That's why I say don't cook for nobody. Give them hot dog water.
First of all, not hot dog water. That's so disrespectful in so many levels. hot dog water. It probably ain't even like the good hot dogs either. That's
No.
what makes it equally disrespectful.
No, it's them S bar Z hot dogs.
See, first of all, they don't even have a full name. They're just all letters. God dog.
But yeah, what he's done has been very despicable and very dirty, but it's no dirtier than any other man has done. What I'm going to say is male relationship and even women relationships that are these gurus, a lot of that is steeped in patriarchy. And you need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, and I feel like I kind of feel bad for everybody that kind of bought it too, because I ain't gonna lie, when he first came out, I was digging the message. I was like, okay, I get it. Dang, that makes sense. Thanks for helping me out. But you can see there were like millions, thousands, millions of women that were listening to this dude, like, you know, he gets us, this, that, and whatever. But it's like, you can't even treat your wife right at this point. So what does it mean for anybody who comes, any male or male presenting person who comes and is treating you the way you've been treating, but now you can't trust that?
No, here's the thing, and as much as you love anyone, and as long as you're in a relationship with them, please remember you're only seeing part of who they are.
Facts.
Even at 20 years, you're only seeing part of who they are. What you can trust is yourself. Trust your intuition. Go get therapy. Heal yourself. Talk to somebody. And it doesn't even need to be a friend. It needs to be somebody that can see a third eye in this, like a third set of
the different point of view
perspective. Yeah, it really is sad. You know, I actually watched one of his videos, and the first time I watched him, I was like, you a whole phony. I did not like his vibe at all. The way he talked to the camera, it was so fake. I couldn't get down
Anything
with
for clout.
I ain't gonna lie, I bought
feel
into it when I first got it, but I was like, this sounds very, very how you say, catered, if that makes sense after a while.
Yeah, you can't, you have to be able to be like, this isn't working for me, and leave.
Yeah.
And leave. It's okay. A divorce, this is what I'm going to say, and I say this for anybody that may go through a divorce or may have already had one. A divorce is not a failure. It is a success. It is an opportunity for you to grow. It is not a failure. A failure is to stay somewhere where you know you're not wanted. Don't do it. Don't sacrifice yourself. And I say this as a woman who was married for a minute.
Our mothers and grandmothers had to go through it. You don't have to.
You do not have to. It is not a failure.
Our mothers and grandmothers did not have a choice. You do.
No, they did not have a choice. And for anybody that says, I want a woman like my grandma, one that worked while her husband was cheating and had a family across town.
It may be beating on her.
You lost me. You lost me. You don't want me. You want something else, because that's not what I'm giving. I'm giving Capri Suns and Cheez-Its. And that's it.
On Cheez-Its. What kind of Cheez-Its?
Suns. Wait. What?
Look,
Cheez-Its?
I got a 48-pack of Welch's snacks. You better come on over here.
What kind of Cheez-Its you got? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You got them like jalapenos or them like white cheddar junks?
I got a box of all three kinds. I got the regular, the jalapeno, and the extra cheese.
You know what? Let me take this flight to New York real quick.
On my way. Listen.
Right.
Listen. Is there charcuterie boards there too?
Yeah. Do we get one?
Look, I got it all. Come on up here.
Yes.
I got the good wine. I got a wine refrigerator, y'all. I'm fancy.
You fancy.
I'm fancy.
You wine refrigerator fancy? Let me say before my ticket real quick.
Look, I put a whole bottle in there. I popped a little bit and I was just standing there and I was pouring it and there's like, it is 8 o'clock in the morning. Don't talk to me about 8 o'clock.
It's my pick me up before I get to noon.
Let me be fancy with my see-through refrigerator. I'm drunk as hell. I'm drunk as hell by noon.
It's a little vodka pick me up. That's how it goes.
Don't get a wine refrigerator unless you're ready for that life. I'm not ready for that life. I had to put my juices in there.
Hence the Capri Suns.
I dig it. I am here for it. I ain't seen a Capri Sun in a minute. God dog. Man.
boy.
All right. So
Mhm.
let's see. We got that. We got that. Oh, what was the other one that we had for the hot topic roundup real quick? Because we were talking about, oh, wait. Oh, we don't have time for it. Dang. We have to save it for next week. But y'all, don't worry. Our fearless leader will be back. She's coming back from Mr. Olympia fitness competition. She's going to have all the stories. I can't wait because I know in the bare bones of my soul, she put baby oil on somebody.
Oh,
I know she
bet
put
you
baby
right
oil on
there.
somebody.
I bet you right there.
You know, I'm gonna ask her as soon as she get back. When mom comes back, we're gonna find out how many people she put baby oil on.
Poll now. How many did she? I'm saying 5.
I'm gonna say 7. What
I'm
you
gonna
think,
say
Katie?
1. I'm
1?
gonna say 1 because her response is going to be that only one of them deserved it, and that was the rest. She that's a service, and she's not going to provide that service to them because she's our fearless leader. So they should be putting baby oil on her, not the other way around. So
This is
1.
true.
True.
And I feel like somebody would have been like, you know what? How about I just put the baby oil on you? But the question is, would she let them?
Questions that
For
need
next
answers.
week. For next week.
Yeah,
For
that's
next
right.
week.
That's right.
We're going to find out here on Brown Sugar Confessions every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. on Power 1017. It is Miss Tracy, Miss KD, Miss T. Thank you for rocking with us. And remember, you can like and subscribe to us on all our social media handles at Brown Sugar Confessions. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to watch the replay and all of the 60 odd something episodes that we have done. We are in the 60s, y'all. We are almost to episode 100. Don't forget, if you want to talk to us, if you want to talk to Doc Val, brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com, Valerie@swancenter.com. Reach out to us. We are always open and welcome to hear whatever it is that you want to confess to us. And once again, from all of us here at Brown Sugar Confessions, don't forget to stay safe and play safe, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.